An endless multiverse of possibilities awaits you, with champions from worlds both familiar and entirely unique to this strange realm. They wait to have their true power unleashed by the Summoner.
Is this over? I'm scared to ask these questions, 'cause I know that you'll reject my love. Moving slower, frozen to these pieces without a shoulder to cry on.
Champions are forever.
Good morning, Shadowverse. T. Smitty, first one in the building. Followed by Epignosis. What's up, man? How you doing? Runty Gamer, I see you. How you doing? Vernon, Money Earning Mount Vernon, what's going on? Are you doing the special incursions to get that last piece? I am. In fact, tonight, I'm going to be running it with Itans. Tonight at 10 Eastern. I need to know who the best champs might be for the incursions run and if they overlap with that objective. As far as the best, I don't know, because you can get all of the hacks. So many champions work just fine. But I'm going to be going in with Spider-Woman, Okoye, and probably Photon. We'll see. Hell, Billy D, Beer Belly Buddha. What's up, man? Yes, I'm going to be streaming tonight, the incursion run. Teku Jr., what's up, man? See, I'm running it with my son, and I want to give him some solid options. All right, have fun at work, Teku Jr. Yeah, those are who I would choose. But honestly, it just depends on your strategy, because you have all the hacks available. Actually, I may not do Photon. I might bring in Silk. I believe Silk meets the objective, because the objective, we'll take a look at it, but let's see. Oh, wait, you know what? I always forget
possibilities
to turn the
awaits
music
you.
back on. Let the music play. All right. There we go. That looks good over there. And let me go ahead and start this up. And we'll see where we go. We go from there. Well, I only have Okoye as a 6-star ascended. That would be just fine. Spider-Woman and Photon I have at 7-star rank 4, so that's a plus. Yeah. But with those hacks, you're gonna do fine. They did design this to be fun, and it looks like it will be. Let me see, did we? Yep, they already took out the boss. Both of them. Okay, what we got here? She? Oh, she's in the arena. Okay. Let's see. Is there anybody else I want to mess with? Could mess with him. Oh wait, no, that's Hazard. Never mind. How about her? Yeah, could. Cold Snap and Bleed. See, that's a Corvus fight right there. Corvus, tear that up. Let's see. Oh. I don't know why he doesn't just take her down. It's in the off season. He can just use the regular low cost revives. Let me get over there. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of want to go this way. Okay. So this is the objective, right? So I should do fine, but my skill and how are the inputs going to treat me? Yeah, well, that's true. Paleontologists are planning a big celebratory event to unearth the largest dinosaur tibia ever found. It's going to be quite a shindig. Caveman, ooh! What's up, man? I can't get past zone 1 because Kabam bullied me and won't fix the delivery of their game. You tell them where you left it. Oh, Lord. All right, so if you see here, you just need to do 30 opponents with a mystic or a science. So that's why I'm thinking of bringing in Silk. I can use Silk for a while. And use Okoye. Let's see. I wonder if there's somebody else I could bring in. Let's take a look. Mystic, mutant, or science. Let's see who I got. Mystic, mutant, science. So Silk, my Silk is not ranked 4, but doesn't really matter. Spider-Woman, so that'll work. And I guess, I mean, Okoye will tear it up, but let's see. Maybe I will bring Photon, Spider-Woman, and Silk. Let's see. Yeah, I could bring Jean. If I brought Nico, definitely got to get the hacks that will heal me back, because I don't want to turn off. I don't want to turn off the ouchies. Tide of Combat got nerfed. You died again. What up, man? So I'll bring Brian Burke, what's up? Yeah, I'm gonna bring Spider-Woman and Photon. And for that last spot, I don't know. How many zones to get 30 opponents? Well, how many fights per zone? That'll tell you. Is it 2 per zone? Not including the boss? Okoye, Photon, and Spider-Woman 100% cheat. Yeah. I'm very curious to bring in, because I'm thinking of the hacks that I want to use as well. I definitely want to bring in I just did mostly Photon for objectives and Okoye for hard fights. Okay. I understand Spider-Woman is people's favorite cheese option. Oh, I'm definitely bringing her in. Ain't no question. So, Spider-Woman, Photon, and Okoye. And we'll do that. And they're all rank 4 too. Okay. Toxic Siphon. Hemostatic or hemostatic charge is definitely a must. Toxic Siphon. Okay, that's the one that heals. Yeah. And we should be good there. All right, let me let's do my auto fighting. For a little bit here. Let's put you in there, you in there. Whoops. You in there. And put you in there. All right. Yeah, I told you, T. Smitty, Okoye with those charges, the hacks, hemostatic, especially. You good. But she doesn't meet any of the objectives. So you want that mystic, mutant, science to get the objectives, because the whole point is to get that final piece, right? And I will have that final piece. Oh, yes. Give me peace. Kingpin, what up, man? How you doing? Everything is everything. So I don't know if he did this right before the end, but Hoodley donated to the PC fund. And he used Venmo. I think that was the first Venmo that I've gotten. But it was cool. So he made his way onto the PC contributors list. I have Photon and Scarlet. I keep saying Scarlet Witch because she was SW for so long. Both at 7.4 with Spider-Woman Sig 200 and Photon Sig 100. You straight. Oh, you got the right adapter? Have you tried it out? Is it working well? Are you streaming? Yep, I hear the sound doing that thing again. I'm gonna have to look that up. Let me check something real quick. While I'm doing this. Yeah, see, it's on the default device. Let's see if this works. I'm gonna try something here. Yeah, see? That won't work. Now I don't have any sound. It's probably just the drivers. Yep. Yep. And there's the static. And the thing is, I can fix it by just taking it out, plugging it back in. Yep, still hear it. I'm trying to see if there's something I could do without unplugging it and plugging it back in. Let's see. No, we don't want that one. Okay, now, I'm not hearing it now. Wait, I just heard it. Yep, it's still there. This is really weird. See, more sound settings. Maybe there's something over here. That's the default device. That's good. Microphone. Yeah. It's set to. I wonder if something else is. Wait a minute. Why is that? Hold on. All right. Can you guys, let me see. Hopefully you can still hear me here. Oh. Okay. Because I just noticed something. The microphone on the Yeti. I mean, not the microphone. The there's a microphone on the. Oh hey. On the camera, and it looked like it was picking up something as well. And I don't know if that was the cause. Even if it wasn't, we don't want that. See if I hear it again, but I just disabled that. All right. Nope. Still hear it. Let's see. Playback. I'm gonna start disabling some things here, because I also apparently have some speakers on the monitor. Still hear it. Let's turn the speakers off on the Yeti. Wait, did I just hear it? Yep, still hearing it. Yeah, that is so weird. Ooh. Yeah, okay. So I'm off tomorrow, so I'll get it all together. Okay. No stream for me today. I'm sick again. Oh, you died again. Being sick is terrible. Silent Leaf Gaming, what's up, man? Jiggle the handle. Yeah, that's exactly what I end up doing. I just go back there, unplug it, plug it back in, and it works. I was trying to figure out what's going on, though. Him23, what up, man? Hey, you are the latest Shadow Dweller. Welcome. Thank you for giving me that sub, man. Appreciate you. Come join the fun. This ain't no time to be staying home. Ooh, there's too much going on. But yeah. While it's doing this, hold on. Let me get down there and unplug it and plug it back in. All right. That should fix it. And I mean, you guys can't even hear it, but I hear it, and I cannot take that. It would drive me crazy. Okay, we got those. We got our Alliance Quest. We can dive in there. Have they enabled Twitch drops yet? I don't know when they have them on or off, but mine are enabled. You died again. You already know. I have not touched Battlegrounds yet this season. No problem. I find me in games sometimes or online chat. So Command confirmed that Hulkling and Valk damage is gimped. Yes, and did you see that it also affected Hercules? Do you remember me talking about it? But I didn't know what I was feeling because recoils make my Hercules still hit really hard. And so when I have them on, I don't really notice. But remember, I turned them off for the Coliseum, and then I did some AQ. And you see what happened. My damage was much less than I thought, but I thought it was just because I turned off the recoils. I didn't realize that he was actually hitting much, much less, you know, doing a lot less damage than he used to. So, yeah. When is the next Kabam stream? I don't know. Did they say they're going to stream tomorrow? I haven't played with him for a while, so I didn't notice. Yeah, but Valkyrie and Hulkling damage is awful. And I don't have Hulkling. I have Valkyrie, but I don't really use her. Yet. I haven't taken her up. Yet. But I do plan to. All right, let me get some water real quick, so you guys can see my Be Right Back screen. All right. And for those of you who don't know, Georgia, which is where I am right now, is under a storm watch. I would say winter storm watch. I guess, is it? Is it still considered winter right now? Because it's cold. Winter until March 21st. All right, so we're under a winter storm watch. And yeah, it's cold. I already ranked up J. Jonah Jameson. I've never used him though. March 20th is the first day of spring. Okay. So yeah, we got a winter storm watch here right now. We are to Arctic storm blast, they are saying. Yeah. Possible snow, ice, all that good stuff. I use my 4-star. He's fun. Yeah, I haven't yet. Yeah, be careful this weekend. I see you guys might get sleet, ice, and snow in Georgia. Yeah. Steven Martinez. How you doing, man? Yeah, well, I'm not leaving my house, so if I can help it. Runty Gamer, where are my keys? Where is my phone? You keep losing things? I bet if Valk, Herc, and Hulkling damage was triple more damage than they were supposed to be, Kabam would have fixed those 3 champs in 5 minutes or less. Oh, yeah. Well, Triple G, what's up, man? I wonder, because there's been times where you were doing more damage, you remember? And they still took a little bit to fix it. What was it called? I think it started with an M. It's like Malice or something like that. Every champion that utilized it was hitting harder than they were supposed to. And it took them a minute to get that fixed. But I do remember they came out and did tell everybody. But yeah, they didn't fix that real quick. We know how the accidental nerf happened then. They were collateral damage on the secret Herc nerf. Man, the Herc hate is real, man. I really wonder if there's something else going on. Cause man. Yeah, I love that Majin Buu, man. Kid Buu. It was hilarious. Okay. Here in Phoenix, it's supposed to get down to like 60 degrees. Fahrenheit or Celsius? Because right now, it is 45 degrees Fahrenheit. But it got down to the 30s. Spring is February, March 21st. Patties at Easter be gone. Yeah. The other black man. What's up, man? How you doing? Been a while. Been around the world and I can't find my baby. I don't know and I don't know why. Why he's gone away and I don't know where he can be. But I'm gonna find him. Yeah, buddy. You ain't know about Daredevil. You can't hit Daredevil with that stuff. Slap that stuff away. Yeah, see? You can't mess with him. I really wish they'd fix up Daredevil too. That'd be cool. Andy Beckett, what up? Yeah, it's good to be back, man. I was going through it. But I'm back now. Rip my wife. Oh, wait, what? A good run. Now we stay single for life. You getting a divorce? What? This wasp in level 5 is pissing me off. Yeah, she could do that. Just bring somebody that can shut down that evade. You should be all right. Already dropped my Okoye and Elsa. I'm doing good, man. Much better now that I'm back. That was rough. All I remember was when, was it Scarlet Witch? Oh, yeah. I remember that one. And the Quicksilver Synergy came out. Yeah, that one was pretty bad. It might have been an easier one to find, too. But yeah, I remember that one. They put a priority on that one, boy. Come on, big boy. Do it. Do it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Fire it off, brother. Fire it off. Okay, now that you hit me, will you fire it up? There you go. He just needed to hit me. That's all. Back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Back it in. Let us begin. Back up. Back up. Come on. Now that you hit me, there you go. And that's a thing, by the way. Sometimes when he don't want to throw that special, once you get hit, he throws the special. Need to get that ensnare on Wasp? Yes, sir. How close am I to level 676? Not close at all. 45 degrees Fahrenheit is 7 Celsius. Yeah, it's cold. Wife says I'm psycho. Even in the 30s, I'm still wearing t-shirts only. Yeah, when I was in college, there were some folks that are used to, much colder weather. I'm sitting here doubling up my pants, and they're out there in shorts. And they're not cold. I'm like, oh, okay. I only wear hoodies. Oh. Well, excuse me. I love me a good hoodie too, but I don't wear them a lot. Yeah, Thing was angry. He was looking like Hulk. Will there be comp for Hulkling and Bout? Who knows? They said they're going to be fixing it. And they have the the cause nailed down. I read the forum post and watched Legacy's video as well. And I think they said by the end of February. But a lot of times the hardest part is finding the bug. You know, you may know what's happening. You know, that's why I probably have a little bit more of a bias because I'm a developer. So I know how those things go. You can spend any amount of time trying to find a bug. You know, you can find the bug right away. Or it may take you days to find that stupid bug. Then, once you found the bug, the fix may be a few seconds. You'd be like, oh, they're just blowing out that array. Let's just put a limiter on that. Bam. And you fixed. All good. Or the fix could be a whole lot more intricate, touching a lot of different things, and you don't want to go in there and just fix one problem and cause 20 others. Brian, I'm going to do my incursions run tonight. Live stream it. What if they nerf Hurt? Well, apparently he's already been nerfed. 2 months after we spend all our units and resources, they'll fix the champ. Should be comp worthy. I mean, I'm not going to say no to comp. I know some people were talking about rank down tickets. Nah, I don't want rank down tickets. I want rank up resources. That's what I want. Bump them rank down tickets. But hey, if they give us some compensation, that'd be cool. Now, I'll tell you this though. When you would really see me screaming for compensation, imagine if it was Dark Phoenix that was bugged. That, I think, would almost demand compensation. Man, I did want this guy as a 7-star, but I'll just have to wait a little bit. He'll be coming. And I will. He'll be one of my most wanted from the Titan when he gets there. But yeah, we were talking a little bit about getting what team I was going to bring for the incursions. And it looks like it's going to be Spider-Woman, Photon, and Okoye. And then Toxic Siphon, Hemostatic Charge, along with whatever else I can think of, you know, enhanced power stings, some immunities, you know, stuff like that. And it should be fun. Because it definitely looks like they are getting back to the fun. You know, this accidental nerf to Herc is what Kabam is going to do, whether in the near or distant future. I mean, they really don't need to do much of anything. He's already been nerfed. He's being left behind, there, you know. But yeah, the Herc hate is real. And I remember when they accidentally messed up his immortality. Remember that? And that was before 7 stars came out. And people were pissed. But I mean, they keep coming out with champs that can shut down his immortality and all of that. You know, he's not really anywhere near. Put it this way. Would you rather fight Hercules or Spider-Woman or Dark Phoenix? Herc's never been a big threat to me on defense anyway. 3 wives, huh? Sounds tiring. Hear what you're saying about the windows and fixing things, but they should be testing this stuff before they bring things live. I've already mentioned that they don't do adequate testing. Now, whether they have a reason, I don't know. But they definitely don't test things the way I'd be used to them testing. But given the benefit of the doubt, their, what do you call it, release window is insane. I mean, you got new champs coming out every month. What time do you have to really test that? Now, to me, they need a dedicated testing team. And I don't think they have that. They don't test things the way that I'm used to, but I'm also not used to putting out new content every month. So, I don't know. Not our fault if it takes a bunch of time to fix bugs and fix it. So they should compensate for their incompetence. Hey, if they do, I have no problem with that whatsoever. Happy Thursday, sir. Hope your day is going well so far. Not sure who hurt, but it must have been bad. I know. I mean, you had people just, they were blaming Herc for everything. And I'm like, wow. At one point in time, he was my favorite champion. Very simple to use, powerful. I liked him. People were like, man, you use him and you're going to become a really bad player. I was like, dang. Maybe I shouldn't use him. I would face Herc, yeah. Rip to your first wife. Ah. I was high during Summoner Fest. No thanks to Legacy. I'll catch you late stream. Gonna go watch the news about Iran. And keeping my fingers crossed that we mind our own business. Yeah, good luck. We got somebody up there. We're not gonna go into it, but yeah. We got somebody that don't seem to have a whole lot of sense. You're hurt pretty easy, defender compared to, say, Serpent. Yeah, they got all these folks out here. Serpent, Enchantress, you know, and why hate on Herc? Dark Phoenix, nasty, even on offense. Yeah, so I don't know. Should always be quality over quantity. You would think so. But who knows? Maybe there's a constraint on them that they are contracted to put out a certain amount. I have found that the company politics messes a lot of things up. A lot of things that the guys lower on the totem pole would love to do, they can't, because the higher ups are like, nope. Because what they should do is reduce the cadence of champions being released in order to put in more testing. They should be testing these champions for months at least. And I mean regression testing as well. Like I said, they should have a dedicated team. You know, they play these characters through in various content. You know, you may not catch everything, but you should catch the big boy things. You know, things that we catch the minute we play them. Like, all you got to do is play it once and you're like, oh, those things should never, it should never be released that way. That's how I know they don't do adequate testing. Herc is going to get the magic treatment. I'll bet if we want to see him as a 7-star, they have to rework him, even though other champs need the nerfs. I can see them doing that, T-Smitty. Don't release broker champs every month. And say, hey, at least we release new champs every month. If they broken champs, then don't release every month. Exactly. But I don't know what constraints they have. They may have the higher up saying, no, you're going to release champs every month. Even though they might want to slow down and do it better. Alpha! What up, man? Got a Tech AG. Woo! Now I'm confused. Nimrod or Prowler? Prowler for me. Unless you use Nimrod. If you're going to use Nimrod more than Prowler, then give it to Nimrod. But yeah, the tech class, I have so many champs that I like in the tech class, man. It's crazy. As much money as the community dropped on those champs, they should not be broken without comp. No excuses for Kabam. Who do I choose? Isofiend, Tempest, Pyramid X, or Arcade? For what now, Alpha? Don't use Nimrod or Prowler? Yeah, if you can awaken Prowler and max sig him, that's the way I would go. I like him more than I like Nimrod. But yeah, Triple G, I hear what you're saying. For sure. I just always keep in the back of my mind that I don't know what their company situation is, because they have to appease Marvel as well. So for all I know, there are things in their contract that prevent them from doing what we're thinking they should do. Because I tell you, I hate corporate politics. Absolutely hate it. I'll give you an example of how they mess things up. Hold on, let me do this real quick here. Okay. Give an example of real story. I'm working for Bell South, and one of my jobs is to analyze and help improve systems. I was not my title was not coder or programmer. It was programmer analyst. So I was expected to analyze various systems and everything, put forth, some solutions that'll help. So we had an application that I felt could be improved greatly. I did my research on it. I did a cost analysis, and everything came out with my solution, which was by leaps and bounds better than the other options. Okay, so I presented 3 options. And then I went into the pros and cons of all 3. And then provided them with my suggestion. They denied it, right? And now I submitted it to my team leader, who agreed with me. He read it over and he was like, yeah, this is good. And so he submitted it to his bosses. And they refused it. Come to find out, as I wouldn't have even known this except my team leader sent me the email that I was not supposed to see. And, he told me, he was like, here, because he got sent the email that he wasn't supposed to see. So he shared it with me as it was shared with him. And I don't really know why. They could have just said that. But basically, and this is how corporate politics can be. Basically, one of the options that was the more expensive and not, basically it was way overkill, not something we really needed. They wanted that one because they had entered into a strategic alliance with the maker of that software. It was Sun Microsystems at the time. So basically, even though the product that I put forth was the better, more cost-effective product, we couldn't use it because they went into an alliance with the maker of a competitor. So now imagine, I'm sitting there, I want to use this software, which is clearly superior and perfect for what we needed it to do. And I'm being told no. Now imagine looking on the outside. Somebody comes along and looks to see what we used and wonder why we didn't just use this product. Those are the things that can happen. Sucks. I don't use Nimrod or Prowler. Okay, I read that. BMCG is saying he thinks Nimrod has made a return to the top 3 of tech champs. I mean, he's a bad boy. No doubt. I don't know if I agree with top 3. Woo! Oh, right in the bread basket. Woo! Whee! Get in that corner. Get in the corner. Did you see him resist my heavy? That's how they do. Just remember what Kabam always says, we hear you. They just forgot the rest of the statement, unless it's negative feedback. Yeah. Did you ever hear Legacy talking about how he fought for Spider-Woman not to get nerfed on offense? And he did. Alliance and Maker sounds familiar. To think Kabam is giving us faulty product because bosses said they had is horrible. It happens. Happens all the time. Hit him with it. Yeah, Marvel vents the crap out of who Kabam can bring into the CCP. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Grit. I was trying to remember that name the other day, but Grit. That is what any champion that has grit will handle Rhino just fine. See this? That's what grit does. Don't got to worry about any of that. Yes, Beta Ray Bill is a very good counter to Thing and to Rhino. All those pesky unstoppables. Doctor. You mean Dr. Voodoo? Only thing Kabam truly hears is cha-ching. Upper management, yeah. That is correct. Yeah, I don't consider Nimrod top 3. by any means. What is with these inputs today is nothing working for me. I went looking around and AP Waves, Max. I was roaming around, and folks were having problems with their inputs. So yeah. Yeah, Triple G. They will vet to who gets in the CCP that represents them. They'll vet companies, but then they leave the company to handle its own business. However, if it starts bringing down their reputation, you'll see them step right on in. Might send a little message and be like, hey, we heard that such and such a champ ain't performing well. You're messing with our brand. So you never know. Donnie Fillmore, what up, man? Vitalik, I see you. How you doing? Yeah, Kingpin. I've taken Rhino out with Kingpin. BMCG is Masters Alliance, AW, and Celestial players, so he got some credibility. Well, here's the issue that I have, Triple G. You know how having recoils on can skew your view? You know, like somebody will say, hey, this champion's damage is pretty weak. And there you are running the recoil saying, looks good to me. You know? I think in the same way, people's skill can blind them. Because when you have a good skill level, these champions are just tools. And so you get in there, you're like, oh man, this champion is great, because you can use them to a high level. While the rest of us are like, that champ's not that good. Yeah, in their hands it is. E21, what up? How you doing, man? Yeah, it's definitely subjective. And your skill level with certain champions will make a difference. Definitely does. Chilling and grinding arena. That's what's up, man. Saying that my Kingpin rank 4 so slaps, so does mine. You saw last season, my Kingpin tore stuff up, man. Came out of fight with a full yellow bar. Boy is buying to the bone. He's a bad, 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 bad boy. Make me feel so good. Oh, that's your top 3? You died again? Bastion, Jack, and Future Ant-Man? That's a good list. I wouldn't disagree with those. You already know I love Bastion, right? But I wouldn't disagree with any of those. How about Spider-Man Stark Enhanced? He's a nuker. Yeah, Yondu's a beast, though. But see, I usually don't do the whole tier list thing because it's highly subjective. And it can be very misleading to, you know, newer players. Or players that don't really invest the time to study the champs. They'll get in there and they're like, oh, this champion is in the top 5, so I gotta rank them up. And then they suck with them. And are like, wait a minute, what go on? But yeah, Yondu's a beast. Like MSD using a 2-star or 3-star champ against the Grandmaster. Exactly. You know, he's so good that he could use most any champ and do his thing. But that's more of a testament to his skill rather than the champion. Now, with that said, you know, I do watch KT1's when he puts out the list, and he makes a good point. You remember, you know, where I was saying Bastion is just fine in Battlegrounds. And you saw me use Bastion, put up good scores, right? But keep in mind that the level that I'm playing at is different. I'm not highly competitive in Battlegrounds, and I don't go past a certain point. So if you're looking at it from the perspective of the folks that are like in Celestial, they would probably have a different opinion because they're dealing with different champions. You know, you got, you know, up there where a few seconds can be the difference between, you know, whether you win or lose. It does change your perspective. So, always got to keep that in mind. Grinding arena without my ouchies on until I get through some of this Coliseum. Yeah, I did that too, T. Smitty. And I cried. Ooh, it was horrible. Yeah, it's all subjective, but I'd rather take the advice of the experienced player than the player who has less experience. Of course, as long as you keep in mind that their experience can give them a skewed view. I always encourage people to do their own research and just test stuff out. Even if an experienced player says that this champion is awesome, check it out. See if you can bring out the potential of the champion. Kabam needs to weed out a few of them mods and discords. They out of control. They think they trumpet. Well, Starkey is definitely a nuke. Yeah, tech has come a long way, man. You know, Starkey is a glass cannon. But, woo! He's a nuke, and that evade assist can help. So, yeah. My top champs are Guillotine, 2099, Nick Fury, Spider-Ham, and Kindred. Woo! Okay. Top as in the champs that you like the most? Or just the champs that you have at there? The game is so champ specific now. Tier lists don't really serve any purpose anymore. At least not beyond great, okay, seems useless. Yeah, I look at why they feel this champ is up there and then make my own decision. Because I also have the experience, you know? Like Tiger, I suck with her, but I know she's a monster. Exactly. And see, I would never tell anybody, you know, to rank up their Tigra because I also know that she has a very high skill cap. So you watch people tearing stuff up with her, and then you get her, and you're like, wait a minute. They put her in the top mystics. But I hate her. Back in the day, I remember Star-Lord. I hated him. He was considered one of the top nukers, right? And I hated him because I wasn't good with him. Later, I was. I still have it on the channel. My initial runs of Realm of Legends with 4 stars and 1 5-star guillotine. And I struggled with him. I kept getting hit, losing my combo. And then later, I did a Realm of Legends run with Star-Lord. And all of a sudden, I did way better because I got better. My skills improved. Yeah, that's the other thing. You died again. He's mainly concerned with Battlegrounds. And he does make that clear. Yep, buddy. Always remember, lists are based on opinions and skill level. Absolutely. Okay, I'm out. All right, Billy D. Beer Belly Buddha taking a break. Take care, man. Just because an experienced player is good doesn't mean they are right. Yeah, it's opinions. Exactly. So to say he's not top 3 like it's a fact is wrong when it's all subjective. I wouldn't tell any of you your tier list is off because it's your personal opinion. Well, no, but we can disagree. That's what I told him. That's what I said. You can still disagree. He says, you know, Nimrod is top 3. I disagree. I say no. But it's all opinion. So there is no right or wrong. But I definitely disagree. No, my top 4 champs out of all my champs. Okay. Y'all want to get a real nuke? Get that 7-star Civil Warrior? Lord have mercy. Dominique! Kitana! What's up, man? I also base my opinions on input issues as well. Well, I hate Actin as well for the same reason you hated Star-Lord. The combo was your main turnoff. Yeah. Aegon. Yeah. Yep. I'm not a fan of those ramp-up champions. I really am not. And I've been consistent, haven't I? But I like Aegon way better than I like Star-Lord. Keeping my combo? Yes, please. Yeah, there's no right or wrong when it comes to opinions. Although in your opinion, you can feel like they are wrong. But no, it's all opinions. No right or wrong. I try not to tell somebody that they're wrong, but you know, in this case, it's true, but your opinion can be wrong. You know? You can say, for example, in my opinion, the sun revolves around the earth. Earth is the center of the universe, in my opinion. You can do that. Yeah. Yeah, Triple G. And then I gave my opinion as to why I felt that was not correct. He said he was, Nimrod was making a return to the top 3. And I disagree. I disagree with that statement. That is based on his opinion. But yeah, it's all opinion. And he can make a good case for it and maybe sway other people's opinion. Hit him with it. Hey, Triple G. In my opinion, the earth is flat. Andy Beckett. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. There we go. Yeah, Triple G though. Really? See, here's the problem. You can have an opinion, but if you state your opinion as fact, that's also a problem. And the facts may make your opinion wrong. Sadly, for example, we know in their opinion they believe this thing. So what are the facts that back that up? Why do they say that? Are they saying it just because they like the champion? Are they basing it on any research? Do they have the numbers? Top 3 most used champions? See what I mean? So yeah, opinions can be wrong, but they are still opinions. You see it in court all the time. In my opinion, this guy was about to take me out. But they were wrong. But that's what they believed. There, Kabam's Echo Chamber hyping up the new moneymaker. Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. Stating opinions as facts. Yeah, exactly. So to say that he's not top 3 like it's a fact. Well, here's the thing. You have to be able to discern when you're talking despite the words. You have to know that they're talking an opinion because they're not stating a fact. You know, because here's the thing. In your opinion, somebody was stating it as if it was a fact. But were they? You know, for example, he says, you returned in it. I say, oh no. But we're still talking about opinions. In other words, it should go without saying that something like that is an opinion. And so they're giving their opinion and I'm giving my opinion. I shouldn't have to say explicitly that I'm giving my opinion every single time for people to understand that we're talking about opinions. You know? Right, and what I'm telling you, Triple G, is that's also true of us when we responded to what you were saying. So, no, you did not state BMCG's opinion as fact, but we already knew that that was an opinion. We already knew that that wasn't a fact, so you didn't have to say any more. And so when I give an opinion that is opposite to that, no matter how I say it, it's still my opinion. And I shouldn't have to say all the time, in my opinion, you know, or I disagree with his opinion. I shouldn't have to keep saying, in my opinion, when we're all talking about opinions. That's what I'm trying to say. Just like you didn't have to say that what he said was his opinion. We shouldn't have to say what we said was an opinion. So he had his opinion. We disagree with his opinion. You know? I can even say, in my opinion, he's wrong. That's my opinion. Kabayan, welcome to the shadows. You are the latest shadow dweller. Welcome, welcome. What are your thoughts on going back on the 5 defender war placement? I like the bigger thing and thing format way better than the 5-man, than the regular one. What's up, Mickey Gibby? As long as you say in your opinion he's wrong. Well, see, that's what I'm telling you, Triple G. I shouldn't have to say, in my opinion, all the time, because we're talking about opinions. That's the difference. I believe that I shouldn't have to explicitly state that for you to understand that it's my opinion. That's what I was saying. Nimrod is in top 3. If we don't agree, that's almost saying he is wrong without saying he is wrong. You know, I mean, well, I'll say this. It would clarify things for people who do not have that discernment. So explicitly stating that you are stating your opinion will help people who do not see that right off. It'll make it clearer for them. That I will agree with. Because I would want to know if he said that, what is he basing that on? You know? We're all talking about opinions. Daredevil, what's up, man? I used to discuss things so much with my boy Storm Shadow. And what often happened, and it happens a lot, is that it boils down to semantics. That's usually what happens. It's not the concept, because we agree that opinions are opinions. But it's how we worded the words we used to convey the concept. That be the problem. And that's semantics. We're just talking about how we present it, what words we use to present it. Okay, so here's an example, Triple G. Look at what you just said. KT1 does it the right way. So what you're saying is, I do it the wrong way. Get it? Right and wrong. Are you stating that as a fact or an opinion? Look at what you just said. See, I have the discernment and the understanding to know that you're giving your opinion. I know you're giving your opinion there, but you didn't say it. You didn't say, in my opinion, KT1 does it the right way. Did you? All right. But I know that that's your opinion. My opinion is that Arsenio will win the Premier League. Wait, what? Oh, Arsenal. That's Arsenio. And I'm not a fan. Okay, so you just did it wrong. Got you. All right. Cool, cool. So is that an opinion that you just said? Because you didn't tell me it was your opinion. You're stating it as a fact. Then, if you're not clearly saying your opinion is an opinion, then yes, you're doing it wrong. Now, see, I can agree with that, Triple G. It does help. It helps avoid misunderstandings. I never disagree with that. Especially when you have to know who you're talking to as well, your audience. But yeah, in communication, it definitely helps to be clear. Woo, woo. Arsenio Hall, I know, man. I know. said Arsenio, and I was like, wait a minute, because that's exactly who I was thinking of when I saw that. Arsenio Hall. I was like, why is he telling me that Arsenio Hall is going to win something? Arsenio Hall ain't been on TV for ages. How'd that work? Just like I think Nico is a top 3 Mystic, in my opinion, doesn't mean that people will agree with me. Exactly. But you died again. He's only talking about a method. And he believes that he's speaking a fact, and I'm taking it as his opinion. Because he's saying that if you don't say your opinion, then you're doing it wrong. And I disagree. I believe that's his opinion. That you're doing it wrong if you don't say it's your opinion. But it's not one of those things that, you know, we will ever agree on. So, you know. But I now understand where, you know, what the position is. Once I understand that, I'm good. Yeah, I definitely understand now. BMG didn't want people coming to him 3 months from now saying he lied to them. So he clearly stated he was just giving his opinion. That's fair. And it makes it very clear because you have people that don't understand the difference between opinion and fact. So clearly stating it is a CYA thing. Cover your own butt. That's what you do. When you don't want people to misunderstand what you're talking about, you cover your own butt. And clearly state it. Still remember that one joke from Arsenio Hall that he was stuck with me through all, that has stuck with me through all these years. You want to know what happened to Oprah's lost pounds that he points to himself? Yeah, he did blow up, didn't he? Oh my goodness. That was funny. I also remember when Seaton was doing his list and then all of a sudden he had to add, yeah, exactly. Because people don't understand it all the time. So if you want to avoid misunderstanding, you clearly state it, or else you can be misunderstood. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Triple G. And like I said, I don't disagree with that part of it. But we could keep going around in a circle because I see we have a circular argument going on. See, like what you just said, he was doing it wrong and corrected himself. I would say he was doing it wrong if the result he wanted. So for the result that he wanted, he was doing it the wrong way. See, I would have to clarify that. Because there's nothing wrong with just saying that. But if you don't want people to take it and misunderstand, then that's not the right way to do it. See, once you've, given that extra clarification there, you're good. If he doesn't want people to misunderstand him, then you better clarify, because that is what will happen. He saw the results, didn't want the results, and so he adjusted it. Now, to me, it doesn't mean that what he did before was wrong, but it was wrong for the results that he desired. He may not have cared, and he could have kept on going with the way he was going if he wanted to, but he would have kept getting those results. Just like I think so many people sleeping on Green Falcon, bro, he is a beast. That is just what I think. Yeah. See, I was never really a big fan of tier lists. You notice I've never made one, right? And that's why. It's inherently confusing to people because we know it's an opinion, but there's a lot of people that don't. And so they have to put these disclaimers. Disclaimers are to cover your own butt. For me, it's not right or wrong to add a disclaimer or not add a disclaimer. It just depends on what you're going for. What are the results you want? You want one result? Then you need to do this. Another result? You better do it a different way. You can't blame people for thinking you saying facts if you say, yeah, no, I don't blame them. If you want more interaction, don't say it's opinion. Yeah, you got that, right? You got that, Epignosis. It's whatever you're going for, what your goal is. Because if you want a lot more discussion and argument and all of that, then you don't want to clarify. Because that will open the door to people having those kinds of discussions. I run recoils, make tier lists a lot different. Yep, it does. You can't be like, oh, dang, it's not my fault. They don't know I was saying opinion. Yes, it is your fault if you're not clearly saying your opinions are opinions. Yeah, that's why you have a disclaimer. If you look at some of the news, they have to put a disclaimer in because you have to consider the source. If you are a source that people are, if you are a source where people can take what you're saying as fact, you have to clarify. You just have to. And it's not because no one will understand that you're giving your opinion. It's because you have a lot of people that will be confused. You know? Like if I saw on the news them saying something, I assume by default that they are not giving their opinion, okay? They don't have to say that this is a fact because it's a news source and that is assumed. But if I'm looking at somebody who's reporting on the news or something like that, well, now I don't know. So they better say it or they may get sued. So you have to add that disclaimer in. So if you have a position where people can really, you know, they may assume, like if you have somebody who who's in a position that you really look up to them, okay? If they don't want confusion, they had better very, very clearly state it, because that's what happens. It just happens. You have a lot of people that do not understand the difference between opinion and fact, and you have a lot of people who will just get confused. You didn't say it, so they don't know. So what they will take it as depends on themselves. Their opinion of your credibility. You know, like, for example, when Seaton first made the tier list, it was very clear to me, personally, that he was stating his opinion. He gave his reasoning, but I could see that was his opinion, but that was me. But because he did not clearly state it, you have some people who were like, oh, this is Seaton. He must be giving us facts. What do they say? Facts not in evidence? Even though he gave his reasoning, people still were taking what he said for the tier list as fact and then getting upset. So to avoid that, he started adding a disclaimer. I don't assume the news is fact. I assume they want me to think it is fact. Yeah, the network news, I don't do that. But see, a lot of people do. You think about it. Something that went on the news, you have tons of people who will take that as fact. So they have a responsibility to vet their facts. That's why they can get sued. They have to vet their sources and everything. And if they find out that what they thought was fact was not, they need to add a retraction. Right. They should not need a disclaimer. Exactly. And some people shouldn't need it. Some people do need it. You know, that's how it goes. I went to school for legal studies, so contract language and stuff like that need to be perfect, or you can get sued. Oh yeah, absolutely. But see, there's a difference between contract language and regular language that people are speaking. Like I said, I had so many discussions with Storm Shadow, and one of the issues that we used to have was that he always looked at the denotation of words, not the connotation. And which is right? Neither one. You know, you have a word in the dictionary, and so you use that word the way the dictionary defined it, you are correct. But then you have the connotation, which is the way people normally use the word, even if they're using the word incorrectly based on the definition in the dictionary. You'll cause confusion if you use the word in a way that people don't understand it. Because remember, you're trying to convey a message. And see, I took a communication class. And so I understand that aspect of it. Your whole goal in talking to people is to communicate something. And so you want to avoid what they call noise. And that's what you're talking about. Noise would be something that interferes with their understanding. So if you don't add a disclaimer, and that is causing confusion, then that's noise. It's almost inevitable that you have noise in, normal human conversation. And what you do to get more effective communication is you try to remove as much noise as you can. Because effective communication is not all on one person. It's a two-way street. You have two people, and they have to be both wanting effective communication. Otherwise, it's not going to work. You're going to have noise, you're going to have confusion. It's just going to happen. Yep. Contract language has to be very precise. Yeah, now I'm confused. You're joking. They can only get sued if someone is harmed by their incorrect facts. Now, I don't know if that's true, but yeah, in this new world we live in, got to be on eggshells about everything you say or people get butthurt. You right. You absolutely right. Yet I'm happy to step on and smash all those eggshells. Well, and that's why we get along. This is why you need a lawyer. Yes. That's why you need a lawyer to look over stuff, because you will get messed up. That's why you shouldn't be representing yourself. These lawyers went to school to learn the precise language that's required. And if they, if they mess up, you can go after them because they're supposed to be, in the know. But you represent yourself, you try to write your own contract or something like that, you asking for it. You are asking for it. I watched, was it Darrell Brooks? You remember that trial, Triple G? The Darrell Brooks trial? He represented himself. Did you see what he did? If you saw it. That was a mess. Yeah. Darrell Brooks got something wrong with his head. Absolutely. I don't know that for sure, but in my opinion, he got something wrong with his head. Yeah. Yeah, Triple G. That's exactly right. He did decent, but horrible. Because, I mean, he wasn't trained. But given that, yeah. And then there was another, I don't remember. See if you remember this one, Triple G. There was a case, this man, wait, Treehouse. It was a Treehouse case. The Treehouse was like a drug. They sold drugs there and stuff like that, right? And the man was married to this woman who has money. I think was it Mary Kay or some line, makeup line or something like that. So she got money. Do you remember that one? All right, Epinosis, have fun, man. Take care. I don't know if you remember that one, but he represented himself and he actually did good. People were surprised because he studied before he represented himself. He studied. But that's not something you should expect. You don't remember that one? Yeah, it was something. Oh man, hold on. Let me see. Haha, I found it. It was 2018. Brandon Chickless was unalived by Julia Enright in a treehouse. Enright was convicted to life, while her former boyfriend Jonathan was sentenced for perjury. I think this was it. Hold on, let me see. I might be wrong. Aha! CrossFit. I was way off. CrossFit. Y'all remember CrossFit, right? The co-founder's husband is who I was talking about. Hold on. Let me see. Here's a link. If I'm remembering this correctly, that is the one where he represented himself and actually did well. And a mistrial was declared. That's how well he did against seasoned lawyers. Yeah, I think that was this one. But yeah, a lot of people were very surprised at how well he did, given, you know, he's not a lawyer or anything like that. And I do remember that one, but obviously it was a long time ago, 2018. You know, it was a while ago. But yeah, that one was the exception, because you had a lot of lawyers weighing in, and they were like, yeah, you don't want to represent yourself. However, given that he was not a lawyer, he was doing very well. And of course, you know, the judge and all that, they give him a little bit of leeway because he's representing himself. But he actually did a decent job. Just a question on wording, on pronunciation. American English words can be a lot different to my English thoughts. Oh yeah, you can have a very confusing conversation using words that you both think you know, because the word means one thing to you and it means a different thing to the other person. Oh yeah, happens all the time. But that's why I said, when you have when you want effective communication, involves two people. So if both you and me are talking together and we both want to understand the other person, we'll talk it out and we'll gain that understanding. Doesn't mean we're always going to agree, but at least we'll understand what the other one is trying to say. You know, that's the goal. You know, to just try and understand what the other person is saying. But yeah, that Treehouse case and the Darrell Brooks case, opposite ends. Because Darrell Brooks, man, good grief. LordShaedow and I rarely agree on things, yet here we are now. Exactly. It would be very boring if you all agreed with me on everything. It'd be very boring, honestly. I wouldn't like that at all. I honestly would not like it. I do not want everybody to agree with me on everything. Yeah, it's fun, you know, when you have, you know, at least a few people that agree with you, because then it gives you that validation, you know. You know, I like that too. Yeah, nah, you didn't make no enemies, Triple G. You already know that, man. I love having those debates. I love them. And my my opinion of you doesn't change. I still have a high opinion of you, of everybody. Doesn't matter if we disagree on something or not. My opinion doesn't change. I still have a high opinion of you, no matter. But you know, you do have some people, you have to know who you're you know, debating with, because some people, it'll break up relationships. You can't disagree with certain people without causing that, you know? So, yeah, there'd be nothing to talk about. It'd be so boring. Yeah, I'm telling you. I would not like it. I sure wouldn't. I put Triple G on a list. Why are you messing with him, man? Oh, let's do that. My opinion doesn't change at all, LordShaedow. Just a chat full of mature people having a debate is a win. Yeah, exactly. I love it. You know how many times me and Storm Shadow don't agree on stuff? And he is like my best friend. I.e. the way we say aluminum or, uh-oh. Hold up. Ah! I didn't have enough for the parry. I was trying to pull that win out because I wasn't really paying attention and got cooked by him several times. Yeah, like stiletto. Yeah, I was going to say aluminum or aluminium. I got one. Tomato, tomato. Let's call the whole thing off. I have one that I just recently taught my sister, stiletto. She thought it was the same, and I used to as well. Cavalry and Calvary. She didn't know those were two different words. She thought they were spelled the same way and that the context made a difference. Do y'all know the difference? Cavalry and Calvary. The L is just in a different spot. But they're pronounced differently, and they're actually two different words. I had to actually go to dictionary.com and show that they were two different words, spelled differently. Slightly differently, but differently. I'm going to try and save all my battle chips until July 4. I'm currently at 629,607. Absolutely. Horseback. Yeah, that's cavalry. Calvary is the place where Jesus was crucified. They're spelled differently. But for years, I didn't know that. I learned it a little bit later, and my sister didn't know it. My sister didn't know it until I told her, and it wasn't that long ago. It was just like late last year. Right, Triple G. Calvary is the place where Jesus, but Cavalry is the horseback. And if you look at the words, yeah, or Golgotha. Yep. Golgotha works as well. And if you look at the words, it's just the L. The L is moved over, but they're two different words with two different meanings. Oh, man. Oh, hey. I still don't like Reed Richards, by the way. But I do like the maker. Woohoo! We got to our 2 million point. And that's where I usually try to end it. So that is going to do it, guys. What's crazy is the way humans see things, that L is in the same spot in both words, even though they are not. Oh, yeah, exactly. Just the way us humans perceive things. Yo, Triple G, they have a lot of puzzles where they show that all you really need is the first and the last letter. Have you seen those? And I was amazed because I was able to read this thing quite well with letters missing in the word. I was like, wait, how in the world am I doing that? I'm sitting there amazed at myself. Like, how am I doing it? What kind of witchcraft is this? But it was amazing. So, yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I didn't know how in the world I was doing. Can you imagine? I'm sitting here reading it, and I'm like, whoa. How do I do this? Okay, I don't see anyone live right now. So we're not going to do a raid. How do y'all like my end screen? I did it again. I redid it. That's my end streams, end screen. So now I have the members listed. Those are the recurring members that I have. I'm going to keep that updated. And then on the right, those are the ones who have contributed to the PC. So I'll keep adding as people, as people contribute to the PC fund, I'll add their names there. And it doesn't matter how much, by the way. There's no minimum amount to do that. Who's your daddy? You got here right in time for me to end. But anyway, that is going to do it, guys. That is going to do it. Does that, wait, SC help? What do you mean? Does it help in what way? It's just the end screen, if that's what you're talking about, is just my way of recognizing the people that are helping me out. In a more monetary fashion, because everybody that joins and chats and, helps me out is helping me out. Oh, the super chat. The super chat I am keeping separate. The super chat helps me get paid every month because I have to make a minimum on YouTube to even get paid. So I need those super chats. But these are people who gave me money and said, put this toward the PC fund. And one of the reasons I want to keep it separate, if they use Cash App or Venmo, which they usually do, I get more of that money. But Super Chats, YouTube gets that, and it actually goes into my income, so it helps. I need both. You know, I need the super chats because that's part of my income that I have to report in my taxes. And then the Cash App or the Venmo is straight. You don't have them from the UK. What does the UK use? Because I can always set something up. There was another one that I had set up. I don't remember what it was called. That some of the people that were more foreign, you know, from some places where they couldn't use PayPal. Yeah, I saw PayPal started charging. Yeah, because I do have PayPal. So I have PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Is there any other one? Because I'll add it. As long as they let me set it up. So if you guys know of one that doesn't charge quite as much, that would be wonderful. Last time I tried your PayPal, it didn't work. It didn't? Hold on. So for one thing, I'm noticing something, and see, this is why I don't like that that plugin. I'm doing it over again because the super chat didn't update. Yeah, Triple G. I'll wait. Let me see. Okay, so apparently, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Hold on, let me. Okay, I'll just have to leave it like that then. Because the reason you weren't seeing your name is because I was trying to do it the old way by reading from a file, not the plugin. But I don't have that third-party application that updated the files. So the files were not getting updated, so you wouldn't see anything. But these are updated. So I guess I got to leave that on that there if I want to see that. And while we're doing that, I guess let me add a filter here so that it doesn't go over the see, horizontal. And see, this is why I don't like the plugin, and I need to find out. I'm gonna do that today. I'm gonna find out if there's a way to format it with the plugin, that is. But you see how it's flush against? I'd like to put a space or a comma or something. Let's see. There we go. Okay. But yes, Andy, that helps a lot. That could be the difference between me getting paid and not getting paid. Yeah, PayPal didn't used to charge, and I saw that. They actually charged me a transaction fee, and if I want to transfer it out and get it quickly, I get charged. But so far, Cash App doesn't. Doesn't need to show. Yes, it does. I gotta give the love back, man. But yeah, I'm gonna look into that. We're waiting right now for Triple G. He was gonna test out my PayPal because apparently it wasn't working, and we can't have that. Got to get the PayPal working. Let's see. And is that? Hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna go to the link here. Okay, the link looks like it's working, and I have received PayPal's recently. So Triple G, how are you sending or trying to send the PayPal? Are you using the link? Okay, how are you using it? How are you trying to send it, Triple G? Are you using the link in the description? What's it doing in the description, right? You're using this link here. Is it giving an error? Because maybe there's something I need to do now. Because I haven't touched it. Let me see. It's saying declined. What? Okay, hold on. Oh, wow. So I don't think it's PayPal, Triple G, because apparently they just send it off to your bank and it gets declined there. I think that's what's happening. Let me see. Here are the reasons. Actually, let me add a source window capture. Okay, that's what I'm looking at there. That's what I'm seeing here. Are any of these It works when you drop a dono. Bureau Man. Okay, so you can use your PayPal to someone else? Oh, man. But see, I got a PayPal too. Hold on, let me look. Cause I want to hold on, let me see. This is so weird. All right, let me log into my PayPal. And see if there's a I'm looking to see if there is a what? All right, it's not letting me pass through this. Okay. All right, I do have a notification that's telling me to confirm. Let's see. Let's make this one my primary. Maybe that's something. There's my phone number, address. There's my link. Account options. Let's look at security here. I don't see any of that. I wonder if yeah, I don't see any of that. Let me see activities. Man, and you know what? I don't even see your attempt. You know, like I would think that it would tell me someone tried to do something and it was declined, but I don't see anything. I wonder, does it work if you don't use the link? I'm looking over here to see if I did change something, so I don't know. This is so weird though. Okay, if that card also says the same thing, see if maybe it's the link. But I did change my primary email, So maybe that will fix it. I don't know. That worked. That worked. Okay, so that's weird. So the link is working. I wonder if you try the old one now. I wonder if it's something I did or if it was the card. I don't know. But we got something working. Thank you, man, by the way. Now I'm gonna add you up here. There we go. Now you're there. That's why I promise you the one day I tried and it didn't work. But when I tried to say something in your chat, you kept missing the chat. Oh, when it wasn't working. Ah. Busy day today. Got my ticket to BTS in Chicago in August. First time there since I was a kid. Sorry, I'm just saying hi at the end. That's fine, Nurser. But hello. Is it me you're looking for? Yeah, if you could, try your old card one more time to see if I fixed it or if there's something going on with the card or the bank or something like that. Which is weird because if you used it for Bureau Man, then why wouldn't it work for me? What's the difference? But I did make some changes. I just confirmed my email address. So maybe they were waiting for me to confirm it. But I did confirm it, and then I changed the primary email. That's the only that's the only thing I did. But at least you know one way was working. So now with all of this, you know I'm a troubleshooter. So of course I'm gonna be like, hey, because I want to know, because it may be it is that card. Okay. So it still didn't work. All right. Because I needed to know that. So the bank was declining and something up. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for the donation and for helping me check that out, because I didn't want that not to be working, because that would hurt. But okay, I got to get something to eat, y'all. So take care. And you all have a blessed day. Oh, wait. Hold up. Let me see. All this time we've been going, maybe somebody is live now. Nope. Nobody went live in this time. I'll contact my bank because it was doing the same thing when trying to purchase from the MCOC web store. Oh, okay. But all right, guys. Take care. And you all have a blessed day.